quotes wisdom, where the pursuit of knowledge and the exploration of wisdom converge. Nature never deceives us, it is we who deceive ourselves. All wickedness comes from weakness. You must have learned a lot to be able to ask about what you don't know. The only way to avoid error is ignorance. Why should we build our happiness on the opinions of others, when we can find it in our own hearts? It is much more valuable to always have people's respect than to occasionally have their admiration. A teacher should not be a servant, otherwise he makes a second servant out of the student. All human beings will realize that on high mountains, where the air is pure and thin, one breathes more freely and feels lighter and mentally more cheerful. Trust your heart, rather than your head. Gratitude is a duty which ought to be paid, but which none have a right to expect. Let us beware of telling the truth to those who are unable to grasp it. Insults are the arguments employed by those who are in the wrong. There are always four sides to a story: your side, their side, the truth, and what really happened. Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. What wisdom can you find that is greater than kindness? The world of reality has its limits, the world of imagination is boundless. Only passions, great passions, can elevate the soul to great things. We swallow greedily any lie that flatters us, but we sip only little by little at a truth we find bitter. Watch out for the fellow who talks about putting things in order. Putting things in order always means getting other people under your control. There are things I can't force. I must adjust. There are times when the greatest change needed is a change of my viewpoint. A feeble body weakens the mind. Happiness, a good bank account, a good cook, and a good digestion. Free people, remember this maxim: we may acquire liberty, but it is never recovered once it is lost. Those that are most slow in making a promise are the most faithful in the performance of it. All my misfortunes come of having thought too well of my fellows. There are times when I am so unlike myself that I might be taken for someone else of an entirely opposite character. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. I would rather be a man of paradoxes than a man of prejudices. To be sane in a world of madman is in itself madness. The truth brings no man a fortune. Or, rather, let us be more simple and less vain. Everything is good when it comes from the hands of the Creator of the world, but it degenerates as soon as it comes into the hands of man. The more I enter myself, the more I read the words written in my soul, "Be righteous, and you will be happy." I prefer liberty with danger than peace with slavery. To write a good love letter, you ought to begin without knowing what you mean to say, and to finish without knowing what you have written. The man who has lived the most is not he who has counted the most years, but he who has most felt life. Those who want to get to their destination can travel by stagecoach, but those who want to travel properly should walk. A lot of kids have parents who are hard to raise. I have never thought, for my part, that man's freedom consists in his being able to do whatever he wills, but that he should not, by any human power, be forced to do what is against his will. Plants are shaped by cultivation, and men by education. All true patterns of taste are in nature. If only the light can save us, then we are done, we are lost. It is the nature of men to bear patiently the necessity of things, but not the ill will of others. It is reason which breeds pride and reflection which fortifies it, reason which turns man inward into himself, reason which separates him from everything which troubles or affects him. It is too difficult to think nobly when one thinks only of earning a living. For the rich, boredom is the great scourge. We cannot teach children the danger of telling lies to men without realizing, on the man's part, the danger of telling lies to children. A single untruth on the part of the master will destroy the results of his education. Never did I think so much, exist so much, be myself so much as in the journeys I have made alone and on foot. Walking has something about it which animates and enlivens my ideas. I can hardly think while I am still, my body must be in motion to move my mind.